Marsha Lewis. Let's talk. Sunday, January the 24th, 2021. Today's commentary, we're going to talk about this past week, right after the inauguration, United States military, National Guard men and women that have been on post in regards to the inauguration, and also because of the domestic terrorists that took place at our nation's capital January the 6th. Security was basically quadruple compared to the normal security that would have been required, or the previous inauguration security. They had to up security, and many various states sent their National Guard to protect our nation's capital, also to protect the inauguration, the president-elect at the time, Joe Biden, and the vice president-elect at the time, Kamala Harris, and all the men and women, congressmen and women, and family and friends and everyone that took a part of the inauguration process. We had military there protecting them and putting their lives in harm's way to make sure that people were safe. And after the inauguration, which was Wednesday, January the 20th, it became a trending topic. And I guess it took place Thursday, because I know it was Friday. Meghan McCain asked Pete Buttigieg about his thoughts about our military men being left out the cold, supposedly like 31 degrees in Washington, D.C. Thursday night. And it's been trending on Twitter and various social media platforms and news outlets. So I wanted to discuss it and give my perspective, my point of view, my thoughts on it. When I originally saw it, I already immediately said this is just a tactic to try to make President Biden look bad. The man just got inaugurated January the 20th, Thursday, January the 21st, and Friday, January the 22nd. People are talking about military was packed in a garage. They had been kicked out of the Capitol. It was about a lot of it was just a lot of lies and just people trying to create drama, trying to make something more dramatic than what it was. Because one thing that needs to be stated and known: if you serve in our United States military in any form or capacity, whether that is that of the National Guard, whether you are in the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, or the Marines, any of our United States Armed Forces, you are trained for the absolute worst. You don't always get the luxury of a hotel. Uncomfortable conditions, uncomfortable situations, especially if you are deployed in our time at war, comes uncomfortable thing. It comes with the job. It comes with the territory. So because it was, say, 31 degrees or however cold it was, they've had worse conditions than that. And this was just an obscene ploy, in my opinion, just to try to immediately cause negativity to President Biden, because you had Kevin McCarthy out there at President of the United States, at Madam Speaker, at Chuck Schumer, and all this out there on Twitter with why is our military this? And I'm going to read some tweets and some information, but it was completely blown out of proportion. And let me start. And there's pictures out there. In fact, you probably can't see this, but if you go and Google, they did not look like they were suffering. They didn't look like they were unhappy, in my opinion, and they definitely didn't look like any danger. These were the men and women that were on a break. They were on a break. They had been sent to a heated garage. I think Meghan McCain said it was only one restroom. Some reports said it was only two restrooms for the men and women to share. And they claim it was like, I don't know how many, but a large number. But at the same time, if you had one bathroom, if you had to be grateful that you had a bathroom, because if you was out in the woods, you wouldn't have a bathroom. You wouldn't even have one of those potty houses. You would have nature. So to just go to the extreme with things just don't make sense. And yes, I understand the men and women of the military, they fight for our country. They are the ones that, if war breaks out, they are the ones that are deployed to go out there and fight for our freedom. But let's also remember this. It's a choice to join the United States military. No one is being drafted as in previous years and years past. And at the same time, we, the American people, take very good care of the men and women in the military. Many of them that are active, they live on basis. They don't pay any rent or mortgages. Everything is free. They have the best of health care. And when they are deployed, their benefits raises. So we take very good care of men and women that are in the military. And they are trained for the extreme difficulties it comes with the job. But to blow this out of proportion makes no sense. This is from ABC. It says, new overnight, kicked out of the Capitol, backlash after National Guard troops moved to a parking garage. And again, just looking at various pictures that I have seen online, they didn't look like they were really suffering. They were just on their phone, basically being comfortable on a break. And let me read this one. This is from Kevin McCarthy, Speaker Pelosi, and Majority Leader Schumer. Now, Mitch McConnell was the majority, but now since it's Biden, something that the GOP don't like, is Speaker Pelosi and Majority Schumer. Why are American troops who are tasked with keeping security at the Capitol being forced to sleep in a parking lot? They deserve to be treated with respect, and we deserve answers. Wow. They deserve to be treated with respect, and we deserve answers. But the reason that they're even there, especially in the capacity and as many that are there, is because of the incitement of the insurrection that Donald J. Trump incited on January the 6th, 2021. And it was just, I believe, Thursday, right after the inauguration, when Kevin McCarthy was on the floor saying that Trump didn't tell him to go down there. A bunch of BS and just hypocrites. You got to call crap for what it is. Hypocrisy. You want to flip the script. Now you're concerned about military personnel, but you're going to ignore the fact that the 45th president incited an insurrection again is the reason and cause of these men and women that you're so concerned about that should be treated with the utmost respect. Well, we deserve answers too to why you are condoning the insurrection that the 45th president did. I need answers to that. Again, just hear the hypocrisy of it all. Just being a complete hypocrite. The picking of choosing of what supposedly is important or matters. Again, military people, they are trained for much worse than this. It was first reported that Jake Trapper was the first one when I first saw it on Twitter. Jake Trapper had put out a tweet, and I'm going to read what was said. But these men and women, hey, they weren't in no danger. They weren't suffering. They weren't in a bad predicament. They were just in a freaking garage while on break. This is Jake Tapper's tweet. Whoever in D.C. is in charge of this National Guard sleeping in a Senate parking lot mess, please get in touch with me. Folks with connections to empty hotel rooms are also contacting me. And then let me read some tweets. Like I say, if you can't see clearly through my phone, but if you just go out there and Google, you can see they were just laying down. Like I say, most of them on their phones. You know, they was relaxed. They was chit-chat with one another. It was not any severe, extreme situation that people needed to be getting all uptight. It was just military people doing what they're used to doing when on break, not on duty, not on having to be at your post. You basically just shooting the jive. You know what I'm saying? But to call this out just because they're military, I mean, in my opinion, it's a job. It comes with the job. Yes, I'm grateful for them, but at the end of the day, they make the choice to be in the military. And again, we, the American people, take very good care of our military people. They get free everything. Free health care. Like I say, while they're on duty, living at, whether that's on base, and even when they live off base, they're given an extra allotment in their salary to help with their household. And then when they're deployed, like I said, they get double. Their family gets double. So we take care of the military. Okay, this is a tweet. It says, Jake, my nephew is there as a guardsman, and he says the story is BS. They were staggering gear in the garage. They all have rooms, and that had been reported. They all had hotel rooms, but their hotel room was further than there where they were at post at the Capitol. And because it was different shifts, these men and women that were off duty at that time, their breaks, they were just sent, and they said it was a heated garage. And even if it wasn't heated, again, when they got there in the wild and who knows where land, they don't, what is it, a tent that they have? You don't even have the luxury, as some has pointed out, for a garage. So really, this was an amenity. So they were good. They were good. Okay, let me read another. It says, Leader McCarthy, of course, is blaming Pelosi. So the truth is the Republicans are causing more lies. I used to take my smoke breaks in the hospital parking lot where I work. Nobody cared. This sounds very politically motivated. Exactly. Just because these people was in a freaking garage, and because they're military, everybody is in an uproar. At least that of the GOP and Republicans and others. There were some others, but at the same time, it was no big deal for these men and women to be on a break for however long that break was in a parking garage, because they have been trained for much worse. In fact, they have to go through tear gas and gas in training. So they can handle being gassed. They definitely can handle a break of being in a freaking garage. Anyway, let me carry on. Here's another one. They had rooms they were directed to in heated parking areas. Still weird, but not what most are reporting. One article went as far as to imply 5,000 troops had to share 2 bathrooms and were out in the cold. Ridiculous attempt to make the Dems look bad. Shaking my head. And that, again, that was my first impression, my first thought when I started seeing it on various social media platforms, and seeing the pictures and seeing different people, just this all of a sudden just flat out outrage because National Guards are in a garage and it's cold in DC. Like I said, when they deploy, they don't have the luxury of a hotel room, of a garage, of heat. But this is such our military. That's where our people's priority. Here go one. Jay, some of us have slept a lot worse places in Afghanistan, hoping to make it through the night. Cold, rain, even snow. Most importantly, they don't have to worry about incoming. They will be fine. After learning more about the situation, it's fair to say it was highly exaggerated by people who thrive on drama. It was a temporary situation and taken care of immediately because of this extreme accusation. Many innocent people were blamed. Let's try to do better. Yeah, it was just really just blown out of proportion. But this is what we deal with. It says they already have had hotel room. They were rested in a place between tasks while on duty. They sleep in a regular hotel rooms during their off hours, but those hotel rooms aren't right at the Capitol. They are a bit further away. So they were fine. With all due respect, Jay, you have to realize our troops are sometimes being trained for what could come in real war. You don't get a hotel room or even a parking garage in most cases. I imagine their superiors are only trying to teach them to learn to be able to adapt. Here's another one. These are tweets. I agree, but let's not forget that this is their entire work profile. Be paid for being on reserve and then show up in a disaster or difficult situation. Of course, let's get them safer and warmer, but they train for much worse situation than this. Yeah, they are trained for military, not cushy hotels. Sleeping on the ground is part of the job. It is by no means unusual for the military to sleep where operations are located. Would it be great if everyone had beds to sleep in? Yes. Would it be practical? Usually not. Wildlife and firefighters do the same. So, in my opinion, it was just a tacky tactic, especially by, like I said, Kevin McCarthy, GOP's, Meghan McCain, with her outrage. You know, she if it's military, she's going to be outraged because, you know, she comes from a military family. Her dad was in the military. She got two brothers that have served, may still currently serve in some capacity in the military. Her grandfather and great grandfather were admirals and all of this, that she likes to let us, you know, be mindful of and make known to us that she comes from military backgrounds. That's why she thought the lady and all the people that those domestic terrorists that we have found out, some of them had military. With Meghan McCain, you know, if she knows or learned you in military, you get a pass regardless of what you may have done. All she needs to know is military, because that's where the McCain family is basically known for, military. But this was just really not even, shouldn't have been anything to be in an uproar about, to be exaggerated, because they had hotels room, and like I said, if you look at the pictures, no one looked like they were in jeopardy. No one looked like they was in danger. No one looked like they was unhappy or sad. They was shooting the breeze like what people do when you get a moment to basically have some downtime. They was on a break, but they were eventually let back into the Capitol. They had hotel rooms, but again, these particular National Guard men and women were on a break. So it really didn't need to be drawn out the way that it was. And we also saw where our new First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, she took cookies and she said, I can't take credit for baking the cookies. Basically, the staff at the White House, I guess the people in the kitchen area, chefs and bakers, but the staff of the White House baked cookies, and our First Lady, Jill Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, she took cookies to the military personnel, the National Guard, and she personally thanked them on the behalf of the entire Biden family. She said their son, Beau Biden, who we know is deceased, they lost through cancer. He was a part of the military, National Guard. So she said the military is a part of the Biden family, and just for them keeping the Biden family safe during the time of the inauguration process, their entire family, she wanted to just do a small token to show gratitude, to say thank you, that they are appreciated and that they're loved. So I thought that was very, very great of our new First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, and I was happy to see her out there with the United States military personnel, and just giving a small cause. A lot of times it's just about small gestures, especially when they are genuine, as the word says, what comes from the heart, what reaches the heart. So what's done in true love and kindness, that will always be received with love and kindness, and will be able to be shared and go around. So our men and women, we are grateful for the military, all branches, again, that whether it's the Army, United States Army, our United States Air Force, our United States Marines, our United States Navy, and the men and women that serves in National Guard. We are grateful for you all. So let's just not take things out of context and just run with it, like a wildfire. Just take something and just run with it. It was not a big deal. They was on a break. They were fine, and all is well. I'm LaMarsha Lewis.